welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double D Belly Boudreaux, and I can prove it. The name's up there, the WrestleGamer. And this is going to be my Monday Night Raw review for the week of January 27th, 2014. I go ahead and introduce the panel. First off, he's our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. Will, how you doing?
After Seth Rollins took that little botch on Raw, I'm doing pretty good. Hope his leg holds up. Oops.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing a man who was robbed of being in the finals of the WGS-TV Tag Team Tournament, the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkins. Cody, how you doing?
Billy, I'm doing good right now. Just a status update as to people who are wondering what's going on with me. After that show, after that tag team tournament, I went to a doctor and I was diagnosed with a class 2 head concussion and 3 bruised ribs. But as of right now, everything is good. I'm healing up. I'm ready to get back in the ring.
Well, again, let's start talking about Monday Night Raw, especially how the show opened up. The Authority was coming out to talk about how well the Royal Rumble went in their opinion, and of course everybody in the crowd thoroughly disagreed with what Triple H and Stephanie McMahon had to say about Batista winning the Royal Rumble, and then Triple H started mocking the crowd, which I thought was just out and out hilarious. Letting Triple H go in the crowd, oh, somebody mad that you didn't get what you want? And then out comes Daniel Bryan to plead his case. There you go. And Daniel Bryan's out there to plead his case to be in the Elimination Chamber match because he already made the announcement that the WWE World Heavyweight Championship was going to be defended inside the Elimination Chamber. Daniel Bryan pleading his case. Triple H said, you shouldn't worry about that right now because you have a more pressing engagement. Out comes the Shield, and then John Cena and Sheamus came in to make the save, saving Daniel Bryan from getting a beatdown. And just right off the bat right there, well, it just reeked 6-man tag for the main event. But the stipulation that they added to it, I think kind of made it a little bit better than being, just a traditional, predictable 6-man tag.
Oh yeah, this is very predictable by far, and here's the thing. You really think the Shield is going to go into the chamber? Well, we as wrestling fans know there's prior plans for the Shield going towards Mania. Yeah, I mean, if they didn't pick Sheamus, Cena, and Bryan to go to the chamber, the WWE's gone mad, but you know what? It was a better choice going forward. And as far as that little fiasco during the start, I knew that was going to happen too. Thanks to our good friend of mine, Ashley, from the UK.
Let's look at match one of the show. Rey Mysterio and Cara taking on the Real Americans. Not too shabby of a tag team match, if I do say so myself. Did notice at one point Zeb Coulter was doing anything he can to fire up Jack Swagger, including slapping him in the face. But in essence, it was indeed a decent tag match. Cesaro hitting the neutralizer on Sin Cara to get the win. R-Truth and Fandango. I think the only thing we should note about this one here, guys, is one, summary is the only reason why I tolerate the Fandango gimmick. Note I said tolerate. And two, we did have another Emma sighting, and one's got to wonder, Cody Hawkins, is how long are we going to have these kind of Emma sightings before WWE actively puts her on the roster and we see her in the ring on a Monday Night Raw or a Friday Night SmackDown?
Well, honest opinion, seeing appearances like that in the crowd, you've got talent in the crowd, got to sign, hey, it's me, it's, to me, it's somewhat of an oxymoron. Because there are already people who watch NXT, who watch the undercard, already know who she is. As to the people who don't watch the undercard, they're like, who's this trick? Okay? So, it all depends on the knowledge of the fan. It's all about the knowledge of the fan. If they watch enough NXT, they know who Emma is. Of course they're going to know she's going to be here soon enough. You know, you give it like a month. You know, let's say you give it till about Elimination Chamber, then she'll probably make her appearance. You know, actually in the show. Like, down the ramp, in the ring, cut a promo. But who knows with these people? You never know with creative. They'll throw curveballs just to throw off the typical fan.
Officially, the end of the match, R-Truth and Fandango. R-Truth hitting the lie detector on Fandango. Winner is R-Truth. I'm going to say not too shabby of a match. They did have Xavier Woods on commentary kind of explaining his absence from the Royal Rumble. We've heard for a couple of weeks how Xavier Woods was doing Royal Rumble promos, saying how he's going to be in the Rumble, and the reason he gave for not being in there is that someone stole his number. So who knows what WWE's even doing right now with the Xavier Woods gimmick. But the next segment really, I think, Lance, is worth talking about. Randy Orton coming out to kind of brag about what he did at the Royal Rumble, which kind of prompts Batista to come out there saying that Randy Orton still has to go through the Elimination Chamber, but Batista saying that, one, he doesn't care who he has to face, if it's Randy Orton, John Cena, or to get the crowd really on his case, Daniel Bryan, which he did. And he said that he was going to walk out of WrestleMania, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then this prompted Brock Lesnar to come out, and through his advocate, Paul Heyman, said that he wanted to challenge either Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship tonight, or face the so-called number one contender, in his words, Batista. And one thing I really wanted to see, Lance, because I don't think anyone has seen it, but I would not object to seeing it, is a Batista versus Brock Lesnar match.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the one problem with that, I don't know if Batista would actually agree to it, because as of lately, Brock has been hurting people.
Well, yeah.
Like, what he did to Big Show Sunday night?
Yeah.
I don't think Batista would do it because he's all big movie star now. And with regards to the whole segment, that it served its purpose to piss off the crowd even more.
Definitely.
That it did do.
Oh, yeah. Gotta agree with you on that one. Up next, since Monday Night Raw was in Cleveland, Ohio, we had the Battle of Cleveland. The Miz taking on Dolph Ziggler. And, normally I don't pay too much attention to the commentary team, because as of late, commentary on WWE makes me want to go. Oh, sorry. But anyway, JBL was just laying down all kinds of anti-Cleveland references, saying, does the winner get Cleveland, or does the winner get to leave Cleveland? And he was also making some responses like LeBron James left Cleveland as soon as he found out the Miz and Dolph Ziggler were from there. I'm just going to leave it at that. Ziggler hitting the ZigZag on the Miz and Dolph Ziggler winning. But I will say this, though, Battle of Cleveland was indeed a pretty good match with Miz and Ziggler. Up next, we had tag team action, Usos and RybAxel. I don't know how long WWE is going to be milking this RybAxel thing, because we already see Ryback with new merch. He's going to try. They're going to try another new gimmick on him, what it looks like. Unlimited energy. Even heard him cut a promo about it before the Royal Rumble. That is, unlimited energy would take him to the win, and it did not. But it ended up with in this match, Jimmy Uso with the top rope splash on Ryback for the victory. Next up, we had Kofi Kingston and Alberto Del Rio, and I gotta say, if there's ever if there's a contender right now for best match of the night, I gotta give it to Kofi Kingston and Alberto Del Rio, just based on the performance they did last night on Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm still shaking after what he did at the Rumble. I mean, Kofi is a good talent. I just think that ever since he had that one title, I think he was the U.S. champion at one point. When he lost it to Ambrose, I think Intercontinental, thank you, Cody.
He's had
I just
both.
think now they're just letting him.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But I mean, overall, it was a good match. But there has been reports this last week. I don't know if you guys remember that Kofi may be going through a new gimmick change and new theme music. It was reported last week. Yeah. So, do we see
the new gear? I mean, look at the new gear. I mean, the new gear. I mean, if anything, that is shades of the Joker. So he might be going a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs pretty soon.
I was kind of noticing that myself because it kind of
that had crazy people.
Sting.
He's a little flip-floppity with his gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, up next, Cody Rhodes and Goldust were invoking their rematch clause for the WWE Tag Team Championship against the New Age Outlaws. I gotta love Road Dogg Jesse James. It's only been one day since we won the titles. We don't have to defend them now, do we? Yes, you do. It was an overall decent match between the Outlaws and Rhodes and Goldust when Brock Lesnar made his presence known yet again and took out Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Lesnar upset over the fact that the Authority would not grant him a match with either Randy Orton or Batista tonight, or last night rather, and decided to take out his frustration on Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Up next, the Bellas and the Funkadactyls were taking on AJ Lee, Tamina, Alicia Fox, and Rick Starr's favorite diva, Oksana. This was make me a sandwich, then go take a piss time. Because this, other than, I'm going to say this though, Lance, other than the triple suplex that they did, that spot, other than that spot, this matchup was just flat out horrible.
Well, you forgot one other thing. Well, two people were actually in the ring. I got distracted by AJ's ass and them Daisy Dukes. Other than that, yeah, the match sucked.
How did she keep that hat?
Speaking of AJ, isn't she showing up for the Comic-Con this year in New Orleans?
I have no idea.
Yep.
But how did she keep that hat on her shorts,
I think she was scheduled to appear.
You know.
The loop is actually done inside the belt loop.
Okay. But anyway, Naomi is Naomi connected with the rear view on AJ Lee to get the win. I did get a comment during the live Facebook coverage of it saying that, you know, this person hated that finishing move by Naomi because it's gayer than Boy George and somebody else, probably George Michael. You never know. But anyway, up next we did find out the second inductee into the Hall of Fame for this year. I want to get everyone's reactions to this. Jake the Snake Roberts will be going into the Hall of Fame this year. And Will, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts about Jake the Snake Roberts going into the Hall of Fame?
About time. Well deserved. I'm glad that he's clean. He's sober. He posted on Twitter. He is beyond happy. Everybody here could agree that this was well deserved. Maybe a little bit too long, but it's well deserved. Nothing else further.
Cody, over to you. I know being an active worker yourself in the ring, you know, I got to ask you for your thoughts about Jake the Snake Roberts going into the Hall of Fame.
I mean, let's just put it this way. Jake the Snake was someone I grew up watching as a child. Damien would creep me the hell out, okay? But later on, I started getting used to that gimmick and everything, and actually watching Jake the Snake Roberts actually influenced me on getting a snake as a pet later on in life. I had a ball python, and I had a reticulating boa, okay? And one of them was named Damien. So yeah, I'm marked out as a teenager, no doubt about it. But, you know, seeing Jake the Snake back, I've been watching DDP's YouTube page and watching as how Jake the Snake has been recuperating so well. You know, he's cleaned up his life. He was getting booked indie-wise recently. He had a couple indie bookings before coming back for Old School Raw, which that was ecstatic. The moment I seen him on the return, I was like, thank goodness he's cleaned up his life. And I always had the utmost respect for Jake. You know, I mean, I've never met him in person, which I hope to soon. Me being as an indie, being able to travel, hopefully I get the opportunity to see him. You know, sit there, shake his hand, and say congratulations, man. Because I've always been a big fan, and it's just it's good to see him back.
All right, and Lance, over to you. Your thoughts about Jake the Snake Roberts going into the Hall of Fame?
Well, one, he is on an iconic heel. Nobody could draw you in better than, he didn't have to scream to get your attention, just said real low and drew you in. Damien, totally yes, he was creepier than hell.
Yeah.
Go play with Nana.
All right, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, it's about time. Although I find it kind of ironic that, you know, the week when they announced that the Ultimate Warrior was going into the Hall of Fame, that Jake the Snake Roberts, if I do remember correctly, had some less than reputable comments for the Ultimate Warrior, and now we find out now at this juncture that Jake the Snake Roberts himself is going into the Hall of Fame. So indeed, kind of maybe an twist of irony there. You know, you never know. But main event time,
well,
of course,
there's no.
Go ahead.
Billy, honestly, there's nothing wrong with redemption. I mean, if you can come to blows, you know, and admit that, yeah, you haven't been at the best of your behavior over the past years, you know, and you can sit down and be a man and admit it and sit with these guys at WWE and tell them that you've completely turned your life around and you've got video evidence to prove it. I mean, GDP has helped him along the entire way. You know, and he was stand up, drug abuse, you know, going to prison, all that stuff. And it's like a completely new slate now that he's turned his life around. Yeah, he's up in age, but that can't stop a man from living. And I believe that WWE has given him that respect and given him that opportunity and given him that privilege to be a Hall of Famer.
Let's look at the main event now, guys, and talk about the six-man tag match where the winning team would qualify for the Elimination Chamber. John Cena, Sheamus, and Daniel Bryan taking on the Shield. Do we have to have the stupid Cena haters chant every freaking time I sit down to watch a John Cena match? And I enjoy watching a John Cena match. And no, guys, that does not make me a 10-year-old, unlike some people who make comments on Facebook saying, oh, you're a 10-year-old kid who's a fan of Cena. No, I thoroughly enjoy John Cena's work in the ring, out and outside of the ring. He's done a lot of great stuff. And yet they are still overly stupid, blatantly ignorant Cena haters who think, oh, if we boo hard enough, WWE will change him. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen anytime soon.
It's gonna take more than that. It's gonna take more than that. Because honestly, you gotta look at what WWE Creative is doing. Okay? The crowd don't care what Creative is doing. They want what they want. And honestly, it's not, you know, this isn't the kid going to Daddy Warbucks and saying, hey, I want this. It ain't gonna happen. Okay? Not gonna happen. WWE is doing what they have to do. If the crowd don't like it, don't watch it.
Exactly, and that's my point there. But here's something interesting that happened during the match. You know, we all saw what happened on the Royal Rumble where the Wyatt family ran in interference during John Cena's match, and then after the match, they absolutely decimated Cena. it was kind of expected. I was wondering, at what point would we see the Wyatt family, get involved in this match? And it was like right towards the end where they come out and they attack Cena, but this time Sheamus and Daniel Bryan were there and they kind of disposed of him. And then we hear the announcement that due to the Wyatt family's actions, the Shield was disqualified. So John Cena, Sheamus, and Daniel Bryan have now not only won the match, but they have qualified to be inside the Elimination Chamber. And Will, I gotta ask you this, fans have been wondering, how long would it be until we saw the Shield versus the Wyatt family? When the Shield got the news that they were disqualified, they didn't take it too well, and they kind of bypassed Cena, Sheamus, and Bryan, and they were kind of looking at the Wyatt family. Could this be the Wyatt family's actions last night in Raw? Could this be the catalyst that the WWE needed to spark an angle between the Wyatt family and the Shield?
This should have happened time ago, but yeah, you just said it right there, nail in the coffin. I mean, let's go back to a November episode of Raw when they fought. Did anybody hear that crowd reaction? I certainly did. They want this to happen. Tell me of other good stables that fought each other as good as this. We could sit here all night and talk about it, but unfortunately we don't. But, I mean, you hit it, Billy, nail on the head. This is supposed to happen. If they put this match for Mania, this will be a good turnout. And, yeah, the Shield were pissed off. And mostly Ambrose, if you looked at his face. But inside joke there. But you know what? This needs to happen. I mean, good stables don't come around like this. So make this happen, WWE. I'd say make it happen. I don't know about you guys.
I second that motion.
Definitely. Well, guys, this week on the Raw Review, I wanted to start a new segment called Fan Comments, where you go to the Facebook page of WGS-TV and find out what the fans of WGS-TV had to say about Monday Night Raw. Unfortunately, this week, nobody sent in their responses on, nobody sent in their thoughts on Monday Night Raw. So hopefully, possibly, within the next few reviews, people will start sending in their comments. But if you guys ever want to have your thoughts read out loud here on WGS-TV, all you got to do, go to Facebook.com/WGS-TV and follow me and the guys during the live coverage of the shows each and every time there's a show on TV, and you can have your comments read out loud here on the review. So with that being said, it's now time to find out our overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. And for me, this week, the best match of the night got to go to Kofi Kingston and Alberto Del Rio. They put on a fantastic match. I mean, it was really an entertaining match with, I got to say, the six-man tag with Cena, Sheamus, and Daniel Bryan taking on the Shield, coming in at a very, very, very close second. I also got to throw in an honorable mention to the announcement of Jake the Snake Roberts going into the Hall of Fame. I got to say, about time. And I agree with everyone's sentiments on that one. Worst match of the night. Now, as of late, I have been saying nice things about the Divas. The Bellas have been improving. The Funkadactyls, Naomi have been improving. But what they did on Monday Night Raw was just utter crap. Other than two spots in the matchup that were good, the rest of the match, it just kind of made me want to fall asleep. And word to WWE commentary team, that is Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and JBL. Step up your freaking commentary, because you are putting me to sleep. WWE commentary used to be really, really good back in the days of Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, and it has just really, really sucked. You could put Mike Tenay in on WWE commentary and you would not notice a damn thing. That's how bad the commentary is. Overall score.
So WWE, you made a mistake letting go of Jerry King Lawler for that time being.
You mean JR?
Back in the day.
You mean Jim Ross?
Whenever it started sucking, whenever they let go of Jerry.
Oh, that.
When they let go of Jerry for a little while, he took that little break.
Yeah.
But the main thing is you're dumb for firing JR. I mean, after that WWE 2K14 meeting that they had, Apparently he got fired for not controlling Ric Flair. You cannot control Ric Flair. Okay? Nobody can that controls him is his bank account. Okay?
Yeah.
Ric Flair can't even control Ric Flair.
Not even his wife can control him. So, WWE,
go ahead.
Get your mind right.
Officially, my score for Monday Night Raw this week is going to be a 3.75 out of 5. Over to Will. Will, you're up next. We want to know your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
Gladly to do so. I'll give this one a 3.5. Best match. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say the best match was the main event of the 6-man tag. Very, very physical. Liked it. Worst match, I'm going to anytime you have Fandango around or anything like that, that wants to put a 9mm that put me out of my misery. And also, too, I just want to say, I know Naomi has stepped up and has tried to be more of a diva wrestler than just dancing around. I'll give her that, but I don't see the Funkadactyls really lasting that long. I think Cameron's going to be on future endeavors very soon. I don't know. I sense it, you know. I don't care for this total divas thing either. So you might as well throw that show out the binge. And worst one, segment, I would pretty much have to say is, can't believe I'm going to go on a limb and say this, but I'm going to anyway. Why did JBL have to do those little segments about colleges? If anybody caught that on Raw last night, talk about Harvard and Furman University. I mean, this is WWE, not college progression of conversation, JBL. So leave that alone. That's a 3.5. Yeah, but 3.5.
All right, let's go over to the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkins, and find out his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
Well, I'm going to put away the worst first, and I can agree with Will with the Fandango match. It's like, yeah, just, okay, pretty much. I mean, in a nutshell, just give me enough slack to hang myself. Okay. That was a filler, but it could have been a good filler if you would have put somebody else in it. Whenever it comes to my favorite match, it'd have to be between two. The close second would be the tag match with, of course, the title defense, the tag match with the New Age Outlaws and the Rhodes Brothers, because that match was actually pretty well assembled, you know, whenever it comes to tag team matches. Because, not to mention, I'm still learning a lot about tag team work, and watching that was pretty much basically formatted, you know, just well thought of, well planned, you know, well constructed match. And to me, it was all improv. Like, these guys, of course, they're WWE professionals. But yeah, they'll chat a little bit. But everything in that ring everything is off the bat. I love it. You know. And the number one match, I will say, I'll agree with Billy here, is the Kofi Del Rio match. Because that was a very good brute force match. You know, it was pretty much just vulture hunting the prey. You know, there was a couple of comebacks from Kofi that I did like. A lot of big comebacks. And then seeing near the end of the match, whenever Kofi was tied Trio Vogue somewhat off a mid-rope, and you see Del Rio pull a warrior stomp. Yeah, that warrior stomp spot. I thought that was innovative. That was new. That was something I hadn't seen before in a while. The thing I didn't understand was why the super kick to finish the match, though. Everything was great, but why that little short-end super kick to finish the match? Why not get something bigger? Something way bigger. I mean, hell, do the cross arm breaker. Everybody knows that. You know, to me, it felt offset. Even though it was one of the best matches of the night, the finish is what confused me. Because it wasn't necessarily strong. Because the crowd died after that curve, the Warriors waist stomp off the corner. You know, to me, the crowd completely died. And even after the kick, you didn't hear that much of a pop to finish the match. You know, you want something that's going to pull and stay pulling, beginning to end. You know, you'll have the crowd here, you have the crowd here, you have the crowd there. Yeah, way up here, and then brought them right back down before the finish. You know, to where it was like, whatever. There was no reason for that super kick. But overall, whenever I do my rating for Monday Night Raw, and we're doing this out of 5, so I'm probably going to roughly give it like a 3.7 out of 5, just because of, you know, I've been watching Raw ever since I was a kid. I know all of y'all have too. I mean, so y'all can understand where I'm coming from whenever it comes to watching it. Because if anything, I prefer to be in the ring at an indie show than to be watching this. But I had nothing else to do, so I watched it.
Anyway, and finally we go to Lance and find out his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
I'd probably give it about a 3. Best match, can't believe I'm saying this, but I gotta give it to the main event. One, because y'all know, not a big Cena guy, but he impressed me. And 2, I'm not a big tag team match guy, and well, it was well put together. Worst match, well, the only good thing about this match was AJ's ass, so I gotta give it to the Divas 6-man. Or however how many Divas it was. Yeah. I was saying God wanted this way, but I was kind of sure if I wanted this to be over or not. Because on the one hand you had AJ's ass, on the other hand you had crappy wrestling. I wasn't sure.
Definitely. Well, on that note, guys and gals, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw? We definitely want to hear from you guys out there. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR reviews, redneck cooking videos, a little bit of wrestling stuff, and whatever else pops in my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, he blatantly dreams about taking chair shots from MSK and James while they're both naked over in the hood. He's the Bay Area MVP known as Will. That's called a spit take. Right there. That's called
right to censor. Right to censor.
Will, what you got coming up? Besides your water.
Your ass and bring them to your house in a fucking sleeping bag, you fucker. Anyway, focus. Me and James are on uVlog now since InstaGive gave us our walking papers. So me and James are on uVlog.com now, where we discuss wrestling, sports, and video games, just like the rest of y'all in this panel. www.uvlog.com/WhoDatTemple, that's from James for the Big Easy, and www.uvlog.com/TheHood, that's my place. So come check us out. New home, new place, new beginnings, and fuck you with that shit.
And ladies and gentlemen, he plans on giving some chair shots to Ashton Spears and the trilogy, the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkins. Cody, you got anything coming up?
As of right now, Mid-South Extreme is waiting in the wings right now for planning with the shows. We're waiting on the Wrestling Commission to come in. As of right now, I've been taking little side tour dates to go to Battle Zone Championship Wrestling out of McGee, Mississippi. So look forward to seeing videos from me over there whenever I'm out there pretty much every other Saturday. It's a UIWA affiliated federation. It's a lot of fun, a lot of people out there. A good crowd. Hey, the ring may be small, but the ideas are big. And also check out Mid-South Extreme's Facebook page. Ever since their takeover in Abbeville, GCW's been wiped off the map in Abbeville. Mid-South Extreme looks like they're undergoing new management. Things are about to change. Within 6 months, I'll be ready to go. And Trilogy and the rest of you cronies at Mid-South Extreme, you're not ready for what's about to happen.
Beware, trilogy, and especially you, Mr. Ashton Spears. My fans, don't forget to like my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, the Bay Area MVP, known as Will, who'll probably hunt me down and gut me over in the hood, and the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkins, I'm the WrestleGamer, Double P Bully Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.